What's up, y'all? Listen, I wanted to come and give you guys some encouragement for those of you guys who are coming out of the discard and you feel like your time with the narcissist was in vain. And the reason that I wanted to drop this video is because one of the first things that I thought of when I was coming out of my discard was that, I had invested all of this time and all of this energy into a person who, first of all, wasn't real, and second of all, into a relationship or even a friendship that I thought would be, authentic and real and genuine. I thought we had, at least a good friendship, if nothing else. And even though we ended up in a co-parenting situation, I thought that we would at least be able to do this amicably and work together and be teammates, that kind of thing. So a lot of you guys get hung up on the fact that I say we didn't have a title, but the fact of the matter is this person presented themselves as a great friend to me. You know what I'm saying? Whether we had a title in as far as relationships go or any of that kind of stuff, or whether this person just presented that she was going to be an extremely good friend to me, I ended up believing that she was a good friend to me, and I ended up trusting and letting this person really close to me. So the betrayal still hits the same, whether I had an actual title with this person or not. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to, kind of like slip that in there real quick, because I know a lot of you guys, one of the biggest questions that I get on the channel is like, well, you guys didn't have a title, you know what I'm saying? And since you guys didn't have a title, like, was she really cheating on you? Like, she presented the picture to me, and just like a lot of you guys, I'm sure, got the picture presented to you guys that you were going to be in a monogamous relationship, if not right then and there, eventually. You know what I'm saying? So it was a lot of future faking going on, and there was a lot of situations where I felt like, okay, this is leading into that, whether it was that at that moment or whether I felt like it was like actually leading into that, and I was making moves according to believing that that's what the situation and the circumstances was going to be, because she had every opportunity to opt out of that. It wasn't like I was hounding her for a relationship. You know what I'm saying? I was actually more on the side of like, listen, if you're not going to be genuine, I'm cool with the friends with benefits thing, you know what I'm saying? But let's just keep it there. If we not going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't have me investing my time and my energy and my heart into something that you're not really going to stand on. And every time that I would present that, I would always give that option of like, listen, if you not with that, just be 100. You know what I'm saying? Just be 100. And it would always be like, no, you know what I'm saying? I'm really feeling you. I really want to, lock in on you. I really want to, make this situation work with you, and it was just like the in and out times where she would be in my life and she would be, a constant every single day, always on my line. From the time I wake up in the morning, I'm getting text messages. From the time I go to sleep at night, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting text messages. And like throughout all of that, I would always question and be like, listen, you know what I'm saying? Like, where we going with this, and in those moments of me asking like, where we're going, what are we doing, like, where, like, we doing a lot of, you know what I'm saying, we doing a whole lot of like bumping into each other, but you know what I'm saying, we ain't doing a whole lot of like building with each other. So I was more so on the, like, I took the picture that she was painting as if eventually, like I said, if not right then and there, eventually, you know what I'm saying, that's what we were working towards, because that's what she was like, telling me, and every time that I would like go back and confirm, like, listen, if you're not feeling this, then, you got the freedom to step out anytime you want to, just be real about it, you know what I'm saying? Just be honest about it, just be genuine about it. Don't be having me like just, on your little hook dangling when you out here, making other moves, because just like you got other moves to make, I could be out here really making other moves too, so she didn't want me to have that same freedom. She was, she wanted me to really lock in on her and be monogamous to her. So that's the dream that she sold me, but the whole while I was, taking the bait on that and like locking in on her, she was out here actually, making other plays, you know what I'm saying? So I just, like I said, I just wanted to drop that into this video. That's really don't have nothing to do with the content that I'm trying to give you in this video. But like I said, a lot of, one of the main questions that I get on this channel is, because her and I didn't have a title, is as if I shouldn't hold her to the standards of being, a good friend to me, and being honest and being straightforward and being, not conniving and not finessing and that kind of stuff. Like, that's not stuff that whether we had the title of boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, whatever the case may be, that's the stuff that she did to me is not stuff that you would even do, to a friend. And actually the stuff that she did to me is stuff that I wouldn't wish on my worst enemy. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, I just wanted to kind of just clarify that a little bit. But basically in this video, I wanted to bring you a different perspective on the discard and feeling like, your time with them was in vain, like you wasted all of this time. Because basically what I have realized, that in this bout of like spiritual warfare, I was able to pick up the other side's playbook. You know what I'm saying? So, and one of the things about warfare, if you guys have studied any type of warfare and all of that kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, one of the main things, just like even in the government, we have an intelligence agency that, like, you know what I'm saying, studies other countries and other, and their tactics of war and all of that kind of stuff. Because it's like, if you don't know how the enemy is going to attack you, and if you don't know how the enemy is, coming at you, then how can you really defend yourself? And that's where a lot of us were going wrong, just in life. Like, we believed in God, but we were still walking a fine line because we didn't even realize how the enemy comes in and sneaks into our lives and starts to attack us. We didn't even see like the openings and the gates that we were leaving open because we were, walking in sin or walking in lust and, fornicating, that kind of thing. We didn't see, the portals that we had open in our lives that were like inviting those type of spirits into our lives, and why, why we continuously like went after the same type of personality, like why it seemed like we were under some type of generational curse, that kind of thing. So it's crazy how certain things come to you, and, I feel like there's a message and there's some value in just about everything. So this one actually came from the show Cobra Kai. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's like the spin-off series to the Karate Kid. Now, what's crazy about it is I didn't even want to watch the joint because I grew up, I'm saying, my 80s, baby. I was born in 1982, so I grew up watching the Karate Kid, like the movie. You know what I'm saying? So growing up and watching like Karate Kid 1, 2, and even 3, you know what I'm saying? That joint was like, that was my joint, you know what I'm saying? And when they started like doing the extra spin-offs and all of that kind of stuff, I guess I was getting a little bit older, so I was kind of growing out of the Karate Kid phase. But, Daniel, son, that was my boy, you know what I'm saying? Mr. Miyagi, man, I used to like, man, anytime Karate Kid would come on, I was watching it, you know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. So when the series came out on Netflix, like it came out and I kept passing it over because I didn't think it was going to be good, because I felt like, how can you, spin off the Karate Kid? You know what I'm saying? I felt like, man, it was a classic, like you don't touch the classics, that kind of thing. So I kept waving it off, you know what I'm saying? I saw it on there, I saw it come on Netflix, and I would wave it off. And then I would come past it again, and I would like wave it off again, like, yeah, I'll catch it one day, I'll eventually watch it. And so I'll catch it one day, like I would see it again in like the previews, and yeah, I'll catch it, I'll catch it one day, whatever, and what's crazy is the time that I decided, like I had seen it like, a nice little while before I was actually discarded. But right after the discard, I had all this extra free time on my hand because, I'm like processing what just happened and, what I thought was a relationship, or like I said, what I thought was a good friendship at least, and having a new baby here, and just like my life being like kind of flipped upside down. And I was just sitting in the house one day and I just said, you know what? I need something to watch. I need something to like distract myself. So I came across the Cobra Kai series on Netflix. So I put it on and I started watching it, and I'm like, damn, it's actually good. You know what I'm saying? So I actually kind of got into it. Like, I watched the first and second episode, and I liked how they spun it from the movie into the actual show. So I'm like, damn, it's, they did a pretty good job spinning it off. Let me give it a shot. So I actually started watching it. And, in the process of me watching it, I started realizing that it was more of a story of like the tale of two sides, kind of just like what we're going through in the spiritual warfare. It's like the tale of two sides. And it's like, it's good versus evil, or you know what I'm saying? It really is kind of like a tale of that, and I'm gonna explain to y'all what I mean. But it really reminded me of what I had just came out of, and the spiritual warfare that I was actually facing, coming out of the discard and trying to like re-establish my life and get things back on track after coming out of the discard, being betrayed the way that I was, having a new child, that I'm still, I'm still a brand new parent, and I'm still trying to figure things out and trying to piece my life together all at the same time. My work life has gone crazy. It's like I was being attacked in a lot of different areas of my life all at the same time. So one of the things that I learned from watching this series is Mr. Miyagi, even in the show, even in the movie, Mr. Miyagi's style, his style of fighting was more so based on defense. His style of fighting was like defense and counter attacks. Like when somebody attacks you, you catch it and you counter their attack or whatever. But the other side, Cobra Kai, the guys that the Karate Kid was fighting in the movie, they had a team as well in the same tournament, and basically it's like, up to date. So it was like their kids and that kind of thing. So it's like Daniel-san's kids and the other sides, their kids and stuff like that were all involved in that kind of thing. So if y'all didn't catch it, man, it's actually a good series. For those of y'all that caught it, man, go ahead, drop it in the comment box if y'all liked it. I actually did like it for what it was. But like I said, it just gave me a different perspective on actually what I was dealing with in the spiritual realm of, coming out of the narcissistic abusive relationship and going through the discard and, just like I said, trying to piece my life back together. So like I said, I felt like it was a story of more so like good and evil. And at the end of the story, at the end of the series, basically to win, to win the actual tournament, they had to use a little bit of both sides. So Mr. Miyagi's side, Mr. Miyagi's style of fighting was defense, and the Cobra Kai side of style of fighting, they focus mainly on, offense and like doing damage, this, that, and the third. So when they got into the tournament, the kids were kind of going at it. And Mr. Miyagi's side, they were kind of losing because they only understood the defensive side of things. They only understood, just like a lot of us, we only understand like, okay, we understand our side of things. Like, okay, yeah, have faith in God, pray, try to go to church, that kind of thing. But we don't even understand how the defense is moving against us. So we don't even know where to, set up our blocks at. We don't even know where to, set up our defense to stop them from even being able to penetrate and get close to us, you know. And a lot of us allowed people that should have never been close to us to get close to us because we didn't know where the gaps in our lives were. We were so like open to toxic behavior throughout our lives because we were kind of groomed into it, that we didn't even see where the gate was open. You know what I'm saying? We didn't see where the back door was left open on certain things in our life, where people was just slipping in, you know, and there was little holes that in our behavior that was allowing these people to like penetrate those gaps and come into our lives. Like, you know, they say like it's an open portal. So it's an open portal to, you know, demon time. It's an open portal to the devil and their works, that kind of thing. So basically, you know, Mr. Miyagi's side, like I said, was teaching the defense, you know, the defensive side of things. And then the other side was, you know, strictly offense, that kind of thing. And neither side could really gain traction over the other until they merged together, and they ended up like merging the teams together. And then once they merged the teams together, they used both styles. They used the offense and the defense, and the offense and the defense kind of played together. And that's when they were able to like win the tournament, that kind of thing. And you know, they were able to present much better because they understood both styles of fighting. Just like now, you know what I'm saying, if you got a boxer and they only study defense and they never learn how to throw a punch, you know what I'm saying, like, yeah, you can catch all the punches and block, and you know what I'm saying, and all that kind of stuff all day long, but if you never learn how to throw a punch, you still gonna lose every fight, you know what I'm saying, that kind of thing. So at the end of the day, you know, to actually achieve and get to where you're trying to go, you have to, it's like yin and yang in life, you know what I'm saying? You have to accept the good and the bad. You have to be able to appreciate the beautiful things and the ugly things in life, you know, and you have to be able to like roll with the punches when things don't go your way, or when things just like completely sweep you off your feet. You know, you have to be able to reestablish yourself and have faith in God, and have faith that God is going to take the negative things that happen into your life, and those things that like most people will look at and like, oh my God, you know what I'm saying, this is the worst thing that ever happened to me. This is like, you know, I don't know how I'm gonna get out of the situation, that kind of thing. And they actually, you know, you will realize that God is using all of those situations to make you a better person. I wouldn't be here doing these videos. I wouldn't be here talking to you guys if God wasn't taking me through like a fiery furnace just to, you know, like, you know, burn. It's like you almost have to like burn, like the ego death. When you have your ego death, it's like you're burning the old self away. You know what I'm saying? You have to go through the fire to actually, you know, become the diamond that you're going to become. You know what I'm saying? You have to go through these things to actually come out on the other side a better version of yourself, you know. And that's one of the things that I just try to lock in and embrace on my journey. Like I said, I still struggle with a lot of things, you know, going throughout my journey right now. But one of the things that I have always tried to do in my journey is be obedient to what God was trying to tell me to do in the directions that he told me to go in. And one of the directions that he told me to go in was start this channel. You know, I got into a position where I felt stuck, where I couldn't move and I couldn't do anything else. And I was forced into a position almost to where it was like my only option was to think creatively and think outside of the box and do something that was going to, you know, get my mind off of what had just happened and get me like recalibrated and refocused onto the things that I needed to focus on in my own personal life. So like I said, I just wanted to drop this video real quick because, like, you know, your time with them, I know a lot of you guys feel like, you know, I just wasted all of this time. I can't believe I just put so much into that and I didn't get anything out of that. But, you know, if you just change your perspective a little bit, you will realize that you gained a lot out of that situation. And now you know how the other side works. Now you know how the devil's playbook run. You know what I'm saying? You can now start to close those gaps up in your life. And I think a lot of us have gone through those experiences so that we can heal. I think that a lot of healing comes with, you know, closing those gaps up in our lives that were open, that even allowed us to, you know, be in these relationships in the first place. So, like I said, I just wanted to drop that in y'all lap, man. I love you guys. I will talk to y'all in a minute. Like I said, you know, don't be so hard on yourself. I know you guys are just coming out of this, and you know, are trying to make sense of everything that just happened. And you know, coming out of that discard and finding out that this person has been betraying you this entire time, that kind of thing. I know it's extremely hard to face and it's extremely hard to deal with, but I promise you guys that if you continue to stay focused and you continue to, like, you know, turn your focus away from them and put the energy back into yourself, put the energy back into, you know, the things that you wanted to do, write that book, you know, start your YouTube channel. I encourage all of you guys, like, you know, start your channel and you know, write your books, start your businesses, all of that kind of stuff, man. It's like, it's so much life that's still left out here to live than to, like, let all of your focus and all of your attention lock in on this one person who never cared about you in the first place and who was basically only there using you and taking advantage of all of the benefits that came along with dealing with you. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, man, I just wanted to drop that on y'all, man. I love you guys. I'll talk to y'all in a minute. All right.